Picture the single worst thing you could possibly put in your mouth. A carcass that's been lying in the sun for a week, bloated, split open, crawling with the bacteria behind anthrax, cholera, and botulism, some of the deadliest poisons on Earth. The smell alone would make you gag from across a field. Now picture burying your face in it, eating it, and then flying off, completely fine. That's not a nightmare, that's lunch. For a vulture, it's a perfectly ordinary Tuesday. So how does an animal eat something that should be a guaranteed death sentence and just walk it off? Because the answer is one of the most incredible pieces of engineering in all of biology. First, an honest catch, because the premise is a little bit of a trick. Animals do get sick from this, all the time. In the wild, contaminated food and water kill animals constantly. You just never see it. A sick, wild animal crawls into the undergrowth, hides, and quietly either recovers or doesn't. So when you watch a vulture strip a rotting corpse and stroll away looking magnificent, you're not seeing the whole story, you're seeing a survivor. The ones that lost are already gone. But survive it they do far more often than you ever could. And the reason isn't one trick, it's a stack of them. Start with the acid. Your stomach is already fairly acidic, sitting somewhere around a pH of 1.5 to 3.5. Strong enough to break down a normal meal. A vulture's stomach drops to nearly zero. It is roughly the strength of battery acid. At that level, most of what the vulture swallows is simply annihilated on the way down. Anthrax, cholera, the bacteria behind rabies and tuberculosis. The kinds of pathogens we build sealed laboratories to handle, a vulture dissolves in its gut without noticing. Its stomach isn't really a stomach, it's a decontamination chamber. But here's where it goes from impressive to genuinely brilliant. A few things are tough enough to survive even that acid. Clostridia and Fusobacteria, the bacteria behind horrors like gangrene and botulism, the kind that would devastate your body. A normal animal would fight desperately to keep them out. The vulture does the opposite. It lets them move in. Its gut is deliberately packed with these deadly microbes, and they do something unexpected. They crowd out everything worse. They fill every available space so completely that more dangerous invaders have nowhere to take hold. The vulture took the most lethal tenants in the building and turned them into its own private security force. It didn't defeat the poison. It hired it. And you don't have to look at something as extreme as a vulture to see this. Look at the animal on your couch. Your dog drinks from puddles that have been sitting since last week and eats things off the sidewalk you don't even want to identify. Spoiled meat that would put you in bed for days is, for a dog, just a slightly interesting snack. And it's the same trick, scaled down. A dog's stomach drops to around a pH of 1, lower and more reliably acidic than yours. That's low enough that salmonella, which can't survive below roughly pH 4, is dead on arrival. And a dog's gut is short and fast. Food clears it in 6 to 8 hours, while in you, the same meal can take anywhere from 20 to 70. Bacteria need time to take hold, and a dog simply doesn't give them any. It's not that your dog is bulletproof. Spoiled food still sends plenty of dogs to the vet. It's that the same margin that fails you works just often enough for them. A horse takes yet another route, drowning incoming pathogens in a massive internal fermentation tank, so densely packed with competing microbes that a newcomer can't find room to cause trouble. Different animals, completely different tools. Same underlying idea. Not a single wall, but layer after layer tuned over millions of years to the exact filth that animal lives in. Which points to the thing everyone gets wrong about this. It's tempting to say these animals are immune. They're not. And that word is the whole key. They aren't immune. They're adapted. A vulture isn't immortal. Feed it something genuinely new, something its body has never cataloged, and it can still die. It's not that nothing can hurt them. It's that they have lived alongside these specific poisons for so long that their entire body has been built, cell by cell, around surviving them. So why can't you do any of this? Fair question. And the answer is that we solved the exact same problem, just from the outside. We never evolved a battery acid stomach or an army of gut bacteria. Instead, we invented fire, cooking, wells, and eventually water treatment plants. We took the filter that lives inside a vulture and we built it out of concrete and chlorine and put it outside our bodies. The vulture carries its biohazard lab in its stomach. We buried ours under the city. Same problem, two completely different answers. And the vulture's answer does something ours never could. Every rotting carcass it clears is an outbreak that never happens. A pocket of anthrax or rabies erased before it can spread to everything still alive. That grotesque bird with its bald head buried in a corpse is, quietly, one of the most important cleanup crews on the planet. So the next time something turns your stomach just to look at it, remember, somewhere out there is an animal built to make a meal of exactly that, and to walk away better than fine. Not immune, adapted, and on a planet this filthy, that difference is the whole story of staying alive.